Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. My name is Eno Agofre, and in today's video we're going to be talking about how to deal with anxiety. Now, like I promised you in the other video, in the previous video, I said I was going to be sharing tips that personally has helped me combat anxiety to an extent, and that's what I'm going to share with you in today's video. So without wasting much time, let's get right let's get right into it. So I I'm going to start off by saying that a lot of people, they struggle with some form of anxiety or a form of anxiety without even knowing. I personally was dealing with a form of anxiety, panic or disorder to be precise, and I didn't even know until I had to, research, find out, and here we are. I'm now sharing tips with you that has helped me, you know, or it's helping me because it's a continuous process. It's not something that you just voila, it's gone. It's not like headache that you take. Okay, headache is more physical than it is mental. It's not like how do I say? It's not something that you can just take medications for and it's gone. Anxiety, as long as you're living, you're breathing, you always have some form of anxiety. So without wasting much of the time, let's get right into the video. So in case you don't already know what anxiety is, which by now you should, but if you don't, it's fine. I'm going to tell you that it is the excessive, when you're always worrying too much, excessive, persistent, like it's always coming in, and intense, it's always coming in, intense worry or fear about everyday situations. Right now there are five basic, like these ones are like the most popular, but there are others, right? There are other types of anxiety. Just anxiety, yes. There are other types of anxiety. We're talking about how to deal with anxiety. So there are types of anxiety or forms of anxiety, like I like to call it. So there are forms of anxiety, and there are five major forms, right? And I'm going to be walking us through those five major ones. I'm not just going to be walking you through the types and forms of anxiety that we have, but I'll also be telling you ways that personally I've been able to combat this, and I'm combating it, like, on a daily basis or as it arises. Okay, so the first type or form of anxiety is the general anxiety disorder. This one is general, exaggerated worry or fear about something that you think might happen. Don't know, but just have that worry or fear that it is going to happen. Number two is the obsessive compulsive disorder, right? Obsessive compulsive disorder. Now, this one happens with people who are generally always wanting their space to be finicky, speak and span. They also have an obsession with calculation. They're always arranged. They're always, orderly. They're always clean. And once you don't have that culture of cleanliness or the culture of orderliness that they expect, it tends to heighten their form of anxiety, right? So those kind of people, we call their own anxiety obsessive compulsive disorder, for short, OCD, right? So the next one is panic disorder, which is a form of anxiety that I tend to struggle with, and I think I am building confidence when it comes to anxiety, this panic disorder, as time goes on, because I've been able to find ways, which I'm going to be sharing with you shortly, that I have been able to find ways that helped me, or that is helping me combat this form of anxiety, right? So when you have unexpected repeated episodes of fear, it just comes unexpectedly, and you're just like, you're so scared, you're so worried, you're so kilo day. And this form of anxiety doesn't just come like you're just worried, it comes with physical, what do you call it now, it comes with physical symptoms. It is accompanied physical symptoms, so you can have heart palpitations, you can have shortness of breath, which sometimes I struggle with whenever I have certain anxieties like that. And I did know that, this anxiety sometimes on one occasion that I've experienced this anxiety was when I was in a bus, a public transport. It was just like the whole place was stopped, right? So it just came. I don't know why it came. Of course, it's like unexpected episodes of fear. You don't expect it to come. Just have that worry. What are you worried about? Nothing, or you don't know. You're just worried about no. But I realized that for my case, I don't know if I should be saying this. For me, it's like a warning signal that something's about to happen, and oftentimes, not all the time, 70% of the time, I find that yes, something really is about to happen, or is about to happen for me to have that kind of attack. Okay, so moving on to the next one, and yes, I'd like to know um, if you struggle with panic attack like myself or panic disorder like myself, if you face or if you have any, I want to know what the symptoms are, and if truly you have these attacks and then a few minutes later something happens, or a few months later, not months, days, few days later or weeks down the line, you find out, oh, this is what I've been feeling on my spirit. Let me know in the comment section. All right, so the next one, which is number 4, is post-traumatic stress disorder, which is PTSD. And I feel like this one is everybody's cup of tea, because we all have, excuse me, yes, we all have I have another device here. Okay, so I feel like this is everybody's cup of tea, because we all have, like, we've all been through one form of traumatic experience or the other. Okay, I remember one time tricycles, they call it, it's popularly known as keke napeps, right? I entered, and it was on a Sunday. I didn't go to church. I went to the market to get something to prepare for the house. Um, so that they can, have food when they come back from church, or stressed and tired. I'm good like that. So on my way back, the tricycle, the keke that was in, literally tumbled. Right? It was to the glory of God that the injury. Okay, one woman sustained injury, but it was not that deep. Right? Nobody died. Nobody. I didn't even. Oh, I think I had pains, no scratch, but just pains for hitting the floor. Anyway, so that whole experience made me very cautious of entering Keke Peps, but now it's better. But then I had PTSD, right? So whenever I'm in it, and it was at the point where when the accident happened, right, we were trying to take is it a U-turn? This thing that swerves like this. Sorry. Oh my god. So we're trying to just like have this turning. I don't know what is it, a U-turn? I doubt. No, it was, my goodness, I don't know. I don't know what it's called, but a turning, I believe you should understand what I'm trying to say. Very sharp turning, right? So we're trying to turn. So whenever I am in a keke nape that's trying to take that turning, PTSD occurs, right? It brings back the memories of what had happened on that particular turning, right? So yeah, whenever people go through a terrifying event in their lives, they tend to want to have PTSD. They don't want to experience it again, or when they think about it, they are scared that they're going to experience it again. So an example of such experiences could be accidents. Like I said, I shared my own experience. Accidents, military combats, and violent personal assault. Okay, so the fifth one and the last one, like I said, there are others, but these are the common ones, right? The fifth one is social phobia or social anxiety disorder. All my introverts in the house, can I hear you say yeah, yeah? Well, most of you introverts. Well, I don't know if introverts are people who suffer from this thing, but this one is like excessive self-consciousness. You are in the public, you're conscious, you are eating with maybe two or three persons, you're conscious. It could come in different forms as well. Social anxiety disorder could come in different forms as well. It could be that you are um, when you are around people, it comes, or basically when you, maybe you are a people person, you can just with three, four persons, but when they ask you to take the microphone and go and do public speaking, it becomes an issue for you. So yeah, you have um, social anxiety disorder. But not to worry, there's no solution. I know. I said not to worry, and then I gave you bomb, no solution. But it's still doesn't give you any reason to worry. You can still live your life free of anxiety. Well, not free of anxiety, but managed. managed, you can still live your life in a way that your anxiety doesn't overpower or your general experiences to life to you, or because don't want to stand in front of people and talk about how the world revolves around something, or give us a speech, for example, right? You don't want to give us a speech, but you can still live your life. You are not less a person because you have anxiety. All right, so I'm going to be sharing with you tips that helped and is still helping me deal with my anxiety, how I've managed it, I've compacted. English is hard, guys. So I'm going to be sharing that with you right now. So number one, take long deep breaths. Like, you know how you breathe deep down into your core? Inside, let everything inside of you feel that you are giving yourself a deep breath, right? And then inhale and then exhale, right? Inhale, exhale. Do that repeatedly until you feel a lot better. Now, this one I find particularly to work for people that have panic attacks. So you know you have panic attacks. Somewhere in your heart is behaving. You just feel somehow side of your body that's not supposed to be beating. It's, you just feel some uneasiness. But when you do that, I can assure you that it helps to an extent and you feel better. In my own case, I find that when I do that, for the moment, I find that I like I'm okay. I feel a bit relieved. But like I said earlier, whenever I have this nudge or this attacks, this panic attacks, it's always like something uneventful, something unpleasant is about to happen, right? Could be the next day, could be a few minutes from then. I just have that uneasiness in my spirit until it happens. Now, it happens 70% of the time, like I said, um, not always. So I could be right, but most times, I'm right more. English is hard, you guys. But whenever I have those nudge or the uneasiness in my spirit, is like 7% of the time is always something's about to happen. I don't know what it is, but something's about to happen. And I'll be like, oh yeah, that's why you have anxiety. So the next one is, now sometimes we may have anxiety that builds up from the perceptions that we, or the beliefs that we tell ourselves to be, or the things that we tell to ourselves, the lies, so to say, that we give ourselves, that we feed ourselves. Now, I just want to urge you to be kind to yourself. Now, this is number two. Yes, be kind to yourself. Kind to yourself. You are not your anxiety. You're not weak. You're not inferior. You're only battling with a form of mental health, and it's called anxiety, right? So, yes, anxiety is also a form of mental health disorder. Okay, so for yourself, for the benefit of your mental health, be kind to yourself. Do not be harsh to yourself. Don't say words that are unpleasant. Don't say words that are unkind to yourself. All right. Now, the next point is have frequent crisis sessions. Now, for me personally, I usually have this thing where I like record all of my crisis sessions because I cannot afford a therapist yet for me to be telling, oh, this is how I feel per time. I don't know what's happening, but I just don't feel like the best, right? Because I don't have a therapist. I am my own therapist, okay? So I can go into my crisis session, I can cry there, I can laugh there. But one thing I do for myself, which I'll encourage you to do, is to record these sessions, right? So I record my sessions just because I want to have a track history of where I was, say, last year and where I am right now. It helps you to be more grateful, it helps you to have more gratitude and all of that. Okay, so having a class session does not only is not only limited to having a recorded session like myself, but you can also journal. You can also journaling is writing, right? You can write it down You can just talk to yourself without recording it if you like, but I do it as a form of documentation. Okay, babe, this is where we were, and I call myself baby too. See, be nice to yourself. This is where we were at this particular point in my life of life, and this is where we are now. Growth, progress. Okay, so you can have quiet session in form of meditation. Just sit, be quiet, and listen to what your head is telling you, mind is telling you, and what your whole body needs at that time. So you can have meditation. So and after that, after each quiet sessions that I do for myself, I find that I feel much better. Now I will leave a link to my podcast. There I share some of my class sessions, not all of it, but some of it. I find some of the conversations that I have on there, I find that can be useful. I think might be useful to you. So if that's something that you're interested in, do click on the link in the description box below to listen to the podcast. Okay. Now, number 4 is challenge your self talk. Now, this can be in two forms. First, the conversation that you're having with yourself. You know, we have this conversation with our mind. Say, in my mind, when you are gisting with your friends and something happened and somebody dared you and you're like, in my mind, I wanted to slap. I was just saying that if I can hold this person, I'll just, that conversations that you have in your mind, right? You have it every time, literally. If you can just change how you converse with yourself in a negative way to a more positive way, baby, you're awesome. Like I call myself, baby, you can do this. Or you can call yourself whatever, call yourself your name and say, you can do this. Be more kind with your words to yourself, not to to other people as well, but first yourself, right? Be kind with your words, say positive things, and watch how that is going to transform the way you feel about yourself. Okay. So, like I said, challenging your self talk comes in two forms. The next one that I personally have adopted into my conversation is changing my vocabulary from worry to or saying I am afraid to saying I'm concerned. I'm afraid this thing won't go well. I'm concerned that this thing. See what I did there, right? I'm concerned about it. I'm not afraid. Okay, so change your vocabulary from afraid to you can use whatever, or you can say to be more hype and positive, right? You can change it to something like for afraid, you can say I'm excited, right? Right? Okay. So for worried, I tend to change that. I have my reservations. I'm skeptical. I know sometimes we want to say things the way they are, but also worry and fear, they are not really the way they are. They are this mirage, some sort of that we build around situation or about things, right? So you can just change your vocabulary from that to this. It may not even be about worry. Generally speaking, may not like a particular word and you just change your vocabulary. Anytime you say this, people around you already know that, oh, this is what she means. She's not a negative person, she's a positive person. So when she says this, this is what she means, right? Or what he means. All right. So the next one is talk to someone, a friendly voice. Now this one cannot be overemphasized. We don't have everybody I know is going through their um, own challenges, and we may not have the luxury of hiring a therapist, a professional to talk to at every point in time. But it is important that we have somebody who is a friend to talk to, converse with. Like me personally, I don't think I'm somebody who enjoys my company, but when I'm around my friends, I am around my friends. Like I don't know, I enjoy the company of my friends as well. Like quality friendship means a lot. I value my friendships a lot because I know what I stand to gain when I'm needing somebody to talk to. They're always there. So I value my friendships and relationships so much because it is so important that you have somebody at every point in your life to talk to, right? So talk to someone. You don't really have to necessarily open up about your anxiety if you trust the person too much, well enough. If you trust the person well enough, you can tell them, oh, I have anxiety, and they can walk you through. But I find that can be burdening the other person, right? So if you do these steps that I'm giving out to you, you always like you are your self-care self-therapist, and you find that it's better instead of burdening another person with your own anxiety. They don't have the professional technical know-how to be able to help you walk you through that path, right? But you can walk yourself with enlightenment and research and all of that to be able to help yourself. Okay? So but just talk to them. You may not talk to them about your anxiety, just you just want to hear something friendly, you want to know that somebody's there for you. Talk about how their day went, how your day went, just discuss things about life in generally. Okay, so I have noticed that I'm laughing a lot in this video, like it's a comedy skit. Fun fact, I laugh for anything. Like I'm always it's okay. Alright. So let's move on to the next one. Take long walks, listen to music, get active. Now, sometimes when we go through a phase or a form of anxiety or experience anxiety in general, when we experience anxiety in general, is oftentimes we're not doing anything, we're just sitting down. But if you find that you're taking a walk, you are intentionally getting active, you're doing something, you're not just sitting down and mopping. Mopping is the word, mopping or mopping. Okay, mopping, I think that's the word, right? So you're not just sitting down looking sad and feeling sorry for yourself. You find that you've channeled your energy into doing something more positive, more active, and that can give you, is it dopamine? That thing that gets you excited when you do those forms of, just get active, go out, take a walk, long walk, not from here to your junction and then you turn back to your house. No, take a long walk, listen to music, dance, feel happy. Just happiness doesn't. Some people say happiness is free, but I think happiness is paid for. It is things that you do intentionally that gets you happy, right? Intentional happiness. Okay. All right. So the next one, which is the final one, comes highly recommended. Go to bed, close your eyes, and sleep. Yes, go and sleep. Go and sleep. Go and sleep. It's okay. It's okay. Understand that you are tired. Understand that you are afraid. Understand that just go and sleep. All right. If you cannot, if it's late at night, or even if it's not late at night, if you cannot physically go out, you sometimes anxiety can leave you drained, right? It can leave you physically drained. You just be tired, think about your life, just be tired on the bed to go and sleep. Right now, some people will say that, oh, sleeping doesn't help solve anything because when you go to bed, you wake up, you still meet the same problem. But for the period you are asleep, you're not thinking about it. Go to bed, go and sleep, close your eyes. All right, close your eyes and sleep, and you find it will do you good. Okay, it will do you good. I don't send anybody to sleep. I just go to bed. You can't stress me. I will go and sleep. Okay, I'll sleep it off, and when I wake up, we'll continue from there. Right, we'll continue from there. So I do hope that these tips have been helpful. Like I said, I want to hear all about your anxiety in comment section. Together, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a professional. This is from a sis dealing with a form of anxiety to another sis or bra. Jesus Christ. Okay, from me to you, dealing with anxiety. Okay, so let's have conversations in the comment section, and till I come again with another video. This is a series, like I said. uh, I keep on saying like I said it's time for me to go because I'm done with the video. So do well to give this video a thumbs up, and also I'm emphasizing on comments because I really want to hear from you. Okay, so leave a comment down there. Let's have a discussion. Let's have a party in the comment section. And then also subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next video. In the next video. Might not be the next video might not be a finding quiet video, but I'll definitely have like a playlist where you can go and watch all the series on Finding Quiet. So till I come your way again, my name is Enra Gapre. Stay blessed and stay beautiful.